What is going on, guys? Happy Sunday. It is time to discuss what iOS and watchOS Beta 4 for iOS 27 was like. Since we didn't get a beta drop last week, we're on week 2, and we have a couple things to talk about. Geekbench dropped their new Geekbench 7 scores, which do vary a little bit from Geekbench 6. So I want to talk about how these OSs have operated in the last 2 weeks, and then talk about tomorrow, which should be another big beta drop day. So first things first, let's start right back at the beginning if you guys aren't familiar with Beta 4. And you can see Beta 4 actually carried a build number of 24A5390F. The F is significant because slowly but surely we are getting to the beginning of the alphabet, which means Apple is making progress in these betas as you would expect, and we are getting even closer to the public release, which, as crazy as it is now only a month or so away, being that it is going to drop in mid-September or so, which is very, very good for those who's really waiting and excited about iOS 27. As far as iPhone storage, this has been kind of triggering back and forth for the last couple of betas. My system data here recently has not dropped under 40 gigs. It is currently at 44.97 gigabytes. It's a huge amount of data. It obviously is always in flux because it does have cache data and stuff like that. But this is a massive amount that we've seen for a lot of this beta cycle. And then iOS itself as a whole, Apple Intelligence is now nearing 20 gigs with that improvement to Siri and all that. Reserved auto update space is something that's kind of popped up in and out of these betas. That's holding up another 9 gigs. And then iOS itself is at 16.18 gigs for a total size of another 44 gigs of usage. So we're almost at 90 gigabytes just in iOS and iPhone storage and system data. That is pretty crazy. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are experiencing combined with those metrics. But aside from that, like I said, Geekbench did drop their new Geekbench 7 scores. But first off, I want to show you how significantly different they are. I ran both these tests within 2 minutes of each other, and on Geekbench 6 on iOS 27 Beta 4, I got a single core score of 3682 and a multi-core score of 9408. Now, if we jump into Geekbench 7 here, let's go to it really quick. You can see a significant drop. So the single core here is only 3051 and multi-core score is 8647. Now, this does read a couple of different info. As you can see here, for single core performance, it breaks everything down to show you where these scores are coming from, as well as multi-core and what equates to giving you that total. Huge difference. I definitely recommend you guys download it to see what you guys are getting. And again, comment down below, what are you seeing on Geekbench 7 as opposed to Geekbench 6, and how is it operating for you? As far as from a daily use case, everything has been fluid. I have definitely seen some random freezes on screens where I just couldn't make selections, but jumping in and out of all the apps as we typically do, they load very quickly. Everything has been very smooth and has worked pretty well. I was having an issue with mail for one point where it would not just push my mail to my phone. Even though it would say there's messages, it wouldn't show, or then it wouldn't clear. And then I had some issues still yet again with the keyboard, unfortunately, but that seems to be resolved here for the most part. Hopefully in Beta 5, that should drop tomorrow, we should see a huge improvement there as well. When I was playing music also sometimes, my touch controls did kind of go away, strangely enough. It wouldn't, again, do a selection. Not sure why that is. Didn't experience that in any other betas. But again, it is very intermittent, and hopefully that will be resolved tomorrow. Which brings me to my next point, like I was saying. It is August 2nd today. August 3rd, we should now see Beta 5 for iOS and watchOS, iPadOS, macOS, all their main OSs that didn't drop last week because we got a public release for 26.6. They should be dropping tomorrow on the 3rd. Definitely excited for that. Hopefully it brings more stability and, just small little tweaks to keep going and fixing that. One thing that we did get that I didn't talk about was those new Siri voices and all that, and improvements here with pace and expressivity. You can see it still says coming soon. I would guess that even some of these should come out tomorrow in Beta 5 as Apple works to continue on with the improvements to the new Siri AI beta. But aside from that, everything again has been pretty smooth. I have noticed that yet again also using my typical demo For Clash Royale, RAM management, again, seems to be a little better here over the last couple days. Let's just jump around, scroll in here for a minute, mess around with the decks, look at our collection. Let's go back out of this. Let's go into our camera app just to launch it, look around. Let's go ahead and go into stocks again, TSLY, scroll through some of these. Let's go in the Vision app, Vision Pro app, I should say. For some reason, this app always takes a lot longer to load than it should, but jumping into this, let's scroll around, click on one of these, go out. Now let's go ahead and go back to Clash, and you can see it actually held in memory and didn't say, sorry, we need to restart. So again, very good to see there. I definitely like the improvements slowly but surely coming in over these betas. Now, one thing I do have to call out, watchOS though, again, has been very intermittent. I've had a ton of Springboard refreshes where it would just randomly cycle out, not even doing anything, whether it was sitting on my wrist, getting an alert, not even scrolling and being active on the watch. I would just get that dreaded spinning wheel and it would go right away into try to restart. I have used the new Siri on here and it has been working a lot better. It was much quicker than what we saw in the prior beta, and just jumping around watchOS here as a whole has been a lot quicker. The only issue, like I said again, are the random refreshes that kept occurring here, and sometimes my message notification count not going away, even though it showed everything was red on the iPhone. So that was kind of one of the weird ones. But again, everything else was pretty good in that regard. If you're not familiar with what this beta has done, very small tweaks. Siri, AI is here obviously and all that. No new watch faces though. A little bit more tweaks to sleep and all those data monitoring points, but yeah, nothing else really crazy or new here. This version is not an F build, this is an H build. So watchOS 27 Beta 4 full build number is 24R5325H, which again doesn't say much difference. They are still right on track, but again, just keep in mind, I think we're going to see the biggest improvement with our betas tomorrow coming for watchOS as well. Some more small Siri tweaks, maybe even making it quicker, giving us new voices, and all of that. I would not assume at this point that we will see any sort of new features being added yet. I think we're pretty much done with that. I think we're just going to have to wait now for the full unveil at their September briefing, as they always do, for the new hardware, and then reminding us what the new software entailed. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.